Hello my YouTube viewers, my name is Ganvious and welcome back to another Pikmin related reaction video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but you guys have been wanting me to react to this particular video called How Boss Music Works in Pikmin 3 Deluxe by Scruffy. So, without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. It's 22 minutes long. This is gonna be a beefy video, so if you guys are very excited, if you guys have any suggestions of what other videos I should react to between Pikmin 4 videos, let me know in comments down below. And obviously, if you guys haven't checked out my Pikmin 4 Let's Play series, there's gonna be a link in the description down below, as well as my other Pikmin games that I've played, all in one playlist. I'm tired. Let's just get into it.
I'm Scruffy.
Hi, Scruffy.
I'm getting back to my roots, stems, leaves, etc., by talking about Pikmin. Pikmin 3 has come to the Nintendo Switch as Pikmin 3 Deluxe, complete with all its DLC content from the original, plus new side story content, new difficulty modes, easier and harder, in-game achievements, and a full Piklopedia of all the creatures you encounter while exploring.
Yup.
I'm talking about the soundtrack, specifically how the various boss themes in the game work.
Okay.
Boss music in games has to be especially engaging, right? A pivotal point in the game's progression requires some pivotal music to spur on the fight. And what better way to do that than with adaptive music that changes according to the status and parameters of the boss fight?
What?
The Pikmin series is known for music that adds, removes, or changes layers based on what you and your Pikmin are doing.
I know that
Since
much,
Pikmin 2, boss music has been a culmination of that, stringing together fragments of music into a seamless composition.
The soundtrack in the Pikmin
right
games are so freaking good, man.
Let's run through the bosses.
One of my
of
favorite
Pikmin 3
elements of the
Deluxe
Pikmin
to
games.
see how the music is structured, where it continues Pikmin
so-
2's systems and where it creates its own.
So this is
The
a
first
full-on
boss we'll talk about can
breakdown.
be
This
found
is
at the end
sick.
of the demo for Pikmin 3 Deluxe, but beyond that, this video contains spoilers for Pikmin 3's story, so watch at your own risk.
You've been warned.
Anyway,
I
let's shine some light on
can
that
access
first
this video
boss,
now.
The Armored Maudad.
Oh,
The
yes,
first thing
of
to
course.
happen is the boss's cinematic intro, which first builds tension through a low, suspenseful texture as the boss reveals its frightening size and comes out of hiding.
It's so sick. I remember this like it was yesterday. Sheet music in this
And
video
then when it
provided by
readies
Elmer.
itself to attack, the tone of the fight commences with this cue from a full virtual orchestra.
Yes. Okay. I can visualize that.
Next is what I'm going to call the Big Boss theme, which is shared by several bosses in the game.
But
how does it begin? The game has several options.
Hang on, let me see if I remember. It starts with like it goes dun 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 dun, like it just played. Boom boom bam bam boom boom, something like that.
The Big Boss theme has a strict tempo, 155 BPM, and at each click, it checks what's happening in the battle. If certain flags have been activated, the corresponding music cue gets played on the next available beat. Some are looping melodies that can get interrupted on any beat, and some are little transitional pieces that are only a bar long and have to play out in full. When nothing else is happening in the battle, the default is the following loop.
I called it! I'm a Pikmin god!
If it goes on long enough, you get the following melody to go along with it.
Oh my god. That's how you know I've been playing way too much Pikmin. I called that, and it's super late at night when I'm filming this. I'm very tired, and I called that! I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm getting so hyped, but I'm just so proud of myself. Oh lord. But yep. It's so cool, because it's like, it's see...
Brash. It's mainly in brass.
It's
the
like
beats are in
sheet
groups of
music.
7, and it's angular and atonal,
You see the notes.
at odds with the rest of the music in the game.
How do you...
Plus, it establishes militant snare drum rhythms to drive the
How do
tempo
you break
and to
this
evoke
down so
commanding the
well?
Pikmin like a brigade. But it's only a 30-second loop. And it doesn't really need to be that long, because in less than 30 seconds, the boss is going to do something else. In fact, the Armored Maudad normally starts the battle with a forward attack, trying to catch Pikmin in its mandibles, so you'll actually hear this attack loop instead.
Yep. That's exactly when it's attacking.
The low
That's when the
strings and
panic
brass
kicks
drop
in.
out and woodwinds get more hectic to alert you to scramble your Pikmin out of danger. Now things get interesting. What comes next is conditional on how this attack pans out. If the Maudad fails to trap any Pikmin, it plays the following transition. This also plays whenever it shakes attacking Pikmin off of its body.
That's so
and
cool,
you can
man.
hear that would go back to the default loop. Now, if it catches some Pikmin, you have a small window of time before it eats them. During that time, the music turns to this more dangerous loop.
Yep. What's so cool is that I know exactly what he's talking about. Like, it's not one of those things where it's like, huh? What? This is like, yeah, I've heard that. And I visualize it in my head. So, like, I fully picture it. I picture the actual action happening in my brain to know what he's saying. So I'm like, yes, it's all playing, and it's all put together and playing like it's second nature.
Pikmin, the music accents Pikmin deaths with the following stinger.
So sick.
But eventually, there will either be no Pikmin left in danger, or you'll free them from danger by attacking the Modad enough to shake everyone off. If you lost some Pikmin during the danger loop, the music gets back to the default via this transition. Whereas if you lost no Pikmin during the danger loop, you get a more celebratory transition that hints at a major key.
It's
and
the
finally,
little things like
this. When you defeat
this.
the Modad for good, it enters a cutscene where it writhes and spits out some treasure for you to collect, and then dies with the following final stinger.
It's so
Interestingly,
nice.
not a celebratory sound, more just slowing down the tempo and accenting the intense death of the giant beast.
Yeah,
but
that was
hey,
weird.
you beat it.
I understand that reference. Hey, from Hey Pikmin! That's a game that I've played, that you guys have been telling me not to play, and I played it anyways. I really liked it for what it was.
It's a lot of musical information just now, and a far more complex system than it presents. But that's precisely the point, to make the music fluid with the ups and downs of battle without breaking immersion. Here's a flowchart of the Modad battle music.
Christ.
Later bosses in the game will have some similar flowcharts with some key differences and additions. But the next boss in the game has entirely different music and adaptivity.
Scruffy, how do you have this much time on your hands?
Fosbat, the boss
How do
of
you
the
do
distant
this?
tundra. Also my favorite enemy in Pikmin 3.
And why do you do it?
This boss is mainly in the dark, using camouflage to remain virtually
Yes,
invisible.
I remember this one.
And you can't really attack it without exposing it to light. So you're kind of stuck trying to turn on all the lights in its lair, an icy cave, while you know that it's present and can at any moment try to vacuum up your Pikmin. This is a very different battle scenario, so the music is much different, and it's more representative of your progress through the battle. Instead of waiting for cues at every tick of the tempo, like the big boss theme did, this Fosbat theme fades in and out different layers of music at any time. It starts with a creepy theme for being stranded in the dark, using some of the instruments you've been hearing in the greater distant tundra.
Yeah. Oh, God. The fact that's so subtle.
If the behemoth Fosbat is near, even if it doesn't attack, this eerie drone and drum machine layer gets added.
Oh. See, I didn't know that much.
I like to think this is a combination of synth drones representing the Fosbat and
That's
drum
almost
rhythms
kinda
representing
creepy.
Captain Charlie trapped inside the Fosbat's belly.
That's almost kind
now,
of terrifying.
if you turn on any of the 4 small light bulbs using yellow Pikmin, most likely you'll ground the behemoth Fosbat and have a chance to attack. Now that you've truly seen the creature you're dealing with, the music adds some more quirky strings, woodwinds,
I just
and percussion
realized how
for a
cool,
more
kind of chalk style Scruffy's going for here, like the black and white.
when
It's
it's
so
nearby,
sick.
even if it's invisible. But all of this is still stage 1 of the battle. You haven't gotten your big chance to attack yet. That comes with completing the bridge to a larger, all-encompassing light bulb. One so bright that you get a cutscene just for activating it that mirrors other boss transitional music.
Right. Nice.
Now the Fosbat has nowhere to hide, so you get this strange melody, kind of a light-hearted corruption of the theme before it.
That's so cool.
And this one is resolutely in common time signature, now with that snare drum in the background to direct your Pikmin to victory. There are no other transitions to this theme. It plays no matter how the battle goes until you deplete all the Fosbat's health. Then you hear the big boss defeated Stinger, but with an extension for the Fosbat trying to fly away and escape, only to collide with the big light bulb.
The soundtrack in Pikmin, like, this really shows you how genius
So,
Nintendo
here's
was.
a much simpler flowchart for the Fosbat's fight.
The
It's a
soundtrack
unique
in the
boss with
Pikmin
a battle
games.
pretty much
Again,
unlike
like,
anything else in the series.
breathtaking, man.
And so the themes presented here never get revisited. If we want to talk about revisiting themes, we should talk about mid-bosses. Mid-bosses are big enemies without the cutscenes and plot advancements of big bosses. Enemies like the burrowing Snagrit. These battles use a remix of boss music from Pikmin 2 and also mimic Pikmin 2's adaptive system. So we're once again playing musical fragments in real time, but where Pikmin 2 played them with MIDI sequences, Pikmin 3 plays them with streamed audio files. Here's a flowchart to follow along.
Yeah,
We start
I
with
gotta
the
hear
boss
it.
intro.
I gotta hear it again. Yep, iconic, iconic, very iconic.
Classic. Then we get to the core loop.
Yep, it just gives me PTSD to all the frickin' spiders that
this theme is decidedly
fall.
more
Good
tonal than the
lord.
big boss theme. It's more about galvanizing your Pikmin under a driving 5/4 time signature and front and center snare drum pattern. From here, not much else occurs unless the mid-boss shakes off your Pikmin, which plays one of 4 transitional snippets in the following order.
Yep. And then type 4. Yep. That's
This
so
also
cool.
occurs if a mid-boss has the ability to appear suddenly, like the Snagrit burrowing up from the ground. And you'll get this transition if they burrow back in the ground. And that's pretty much it, until you defeat the mid-boss and get the tempo-slowing ending, resolving to an F major chord.
Alright. Nice, nice.
And a timpani roll. That's cute. As far as a set of
That's
possible
cute.
music cues, this actually has a smaller cardinality than Pikmin 2's boss theme. That's mainly because, unlike Pikmin 3's big bosses, these mid-bosses don't really have attack or danger phases, they just have one fight.
Right.
But speaking of the big bosses, let's get back to that track with our next contender. You ready? The sand-belching Meerslug.
Oh,
with big
this
lips and
bastard.
big appetite.
This was a
This
cool
boss battle
fight,
uses the
though. I
same
really
system as
enjoyed
the
this
Armored
one.
Maudad did, but with some changes.
Very cool fight.
When the battle begins, you have the Meerslug create a sinkhole for its attack phase, then open its lips at the bottom to eat Pikmin during the danger phase.
It's like the Starlight
But here's
pit.
a new addition. If you can successfully deal enough damage to the Meerslug while it's attacking, such as by feeding it a bomb rock, it will burst out of the ground and become vulnerable to attack, which causes this new, contrastingly chipper melody.
Yeah, it's like kind of heroic. I knew that was new at the time. I'm just like,
It
whoa, wait a
combines the
minute.
intensity of the danger cue with a melody that echoes Pikmin's main theme, and roots for your side specifically. You know that that's the point to charge your Pikmin forward.
Yeah.
And otherwise, the flowchart works out the same, ending with the same defeat cue as the Armored Maudad. So, let's move on. After most likely encountering some more mid-bosses, we have our next big boss, the Scornet Maestro. This fight is a fair bit more scripted than previous fights, and it uses the same flowchart as before, but now we can shed some light on priorities in this chart. See, the Maestro will direct its own army of little bee-like creatures, Scornets, to attack in formation and capture Pikmin. And then they stay off the battlefield with any Pikmin they caught, while the Maestro is defenseless and open to attack. Here's the priority for music. If no Pikmin were captured, you get a motivating melody to focus on swarming the Maestro. But if even one Pikmin got captured, you hear the danger cue throughout the Maestro's vulnerability, until the little Scornets return and hold the Pikmin in captivity until they either perish or until you rescue them. So the danger of losing Pikmin takes precedence over the chance to attack. That makes sense. Every Pikmin is worth protecting.
Yeah.
But it's hard to protect them from our next boss on the list, the Quaggled Meyerklops.
Okay, this one's awesome. I love this one. I love
Once
this
again,
boss.
big boss flowchart,
So
but
sick.
it's wired a little differently. See, you have to damage its feet to knock it over and get a chance to attack its weak point, the big fruit of a head on top. When you knock it over, you immediately hear the chance to attack melody, but it's cut short by the Meyerklops' secret attack, sweeping its big multicolored tongue around to capture and eat Pikmin that try to engage it. And, not through with its secret attacks, it introduces one more new cue.
I
when
think
it
this
gets
took
back
me a
up.
hot minute to
After
beat
a
if
galloping
I go
attack
by
to try and
memory.
crush Pikmin with
But I
its feet,
loved this
it'll
boss
slam
fight.
its entire body into the mud, prompting one transition we haven't heard before. Interesting little extra cue. Otherwise, it's a hard-fought battle, and quite a flowchart when it has that many attacks up its sleeve.
That's crazy,
But rest
man.
assured, the battle does end with the signature boss
How do you
defeated
just
cue.
how do you just dissect this like
That's
this?
the last boss to use the big
How
boss
do you do
theme.
that?
And
Scruffy.
interestingly, there's one cue left unaccounted for that my collaborator,
This
Olimar12345, has
talent.
found. It's the following, which sounds like the normal boss theme, but stripped of everything but the horn vamp.
I see.
Olimar12345 currently labels it as the menu open loop,
okay.
because we thought it would occur when you collect a data file during a boss fight. However, that doesn't seem to be the case now in Pikmin 3 or Pikmin 3 Deluxe, so we're left wondering if it was patched out of the game, or maybe meant for some other purpose. That remains a mystery.
Interesting.
And speaking of mysterious things, well, we've got only one boss left. My Pikmin videos just can't avoid talking about it, can they? Get ready for the Plasm Wraith. To keep things brief, I'll only talk about music when...
The Plasm Wraith. The Plasm Wraith. Of course. Yes. Yes, the Plasm Wraith. The Plasm Wraith. I see you back there. I'm gonna go get him. I'm gonna go get him. Just because I let you stay in my studio for free, Plasm Wraith. Just because I let you do that doesn't mean you get to watch me and stare at me while I make videos. I should be charging you to stay here, but I let you stay here for free without paying rent. It took me so long to kill you, but I did. You are dead now, and I could just take my fist of fury and just destroy that butthole of a head of yours. But I'm not going to, because Ashla mailed you to me. They made you, but they also mailed you to me. That means you're my property now. I'm sorry. Where are we?
The Plasm Wraith is combating you. There's a new adaptive system when you venture inside the formidable oak, and the Plasm Wraith materializes behind you as its first form, the mysterious life form. This time, it's not based on the boss's actions or your progress through the battle. It's all based around the thing you and the mysterious life form are coveting, Captain Olimar. While his spacesuit is in forced sleep mode, you have to carry him through the depths of the oak without letting the mysterious life form get to him. So normally, you hear this theme playing. A completely atonal pattern with low basses and bass drum putting horrific urgency in the rhythm.
Oh, yes. Yes. The eerie theme is what I love so much.
And
Just
over
like,
top, that extraterrestrial
it's an
melody that plays shy, untuned notes is just icing on the cake. Now,
about
if
to
the
say
life
that.
form gets close to Olimar, you'll hear the leaders say something as a warning, but I think a more effective warning is the way the music adds this layer of rising strings and a faster rhythm played on anvil.
It's so haunting. You can use that music for like
Now
a scary
that
game or
is
something.
intense.
Yeah.
If you can get away in time, the theme calms back to normal. But if the mysterious life form catches and absorbs Olimar, things get crazy, adding in brass and percussion from the big boss theme to accent the danger of losing Olimar.
Yep. I remember this like it was yesterday. It took way too long. Watch my Pikmin series if you haven't already.
The boss just
I play all the
enough to
games for
release
the first
Olimar
time.
And be temporarily
Link in the
dazed.
description to the
But the
playlist.
music never celebrates. There are no transitional cues, only this simple flowchart of varying but non-zero intensity. Once you successfully extract Olimar from the oak, you get a cutscene that references a victorious little jingle throughout the Pikmin series.
Yeah.
But it's harmonically imbalanced, and the Wraith interrupts it, building tension for
the final battle. Yep.
the actual final battle theme. This one's pretty popular, and there's no adaptivity. This now plays anywhere in the formidable oak until you rescue Olimar from the Plasm Wraith's final form. And it's interesting. It combines a more focused C-sharp minor melody with the chaotic Plasm Wraith motif. And while the time signature changes around between those, the pulse of rhythms from the strings keep things on track. If anything, this battle theme assures you that this is the last item on your flowchart. And indeed, the only thing left to come after this is the cutscene when you beat the Plasm Wraith and recover Olimar, leading to the final set of cutscenes ending the story. I think it's appropriate to have that sort of clarity in the final boss theme, where everything about the music is pronouncing finality.
Yeah.
But hang on, I can't wrap this up yet. There's still more content, isn't there? New to Pikmin 3 Deluxe are the side story modes.
Yeah, I almost forgot about the
side to the events of the main story.
Right.
These are far into spoiler territory. I'll do my best not to spoil what bosses appear, but I will say there is something near the end of the epilogue that gets new boss music and an adaptive flowchart that emulates the mid-boss flowchart. Like most of the music for the side stories, it was composed by chamber pop artist Babi. And not only is her music a perfect personality for the Pikmin series, this particular piece also makes some fun references. Here's the flowchart. It starts with a new intro theme. Then works into a new default loop that's quirky and silly, but still echoing the mood of the other boss music we've heard. It plays no matter where you are in this area.
I don't remember. It's so weird how I don't remember much of the side stories. Yes, okay, this I do remember. I remember being like, this is from Pikmin 1! The Pikmin 1 theme is here! Yeah, okay, it's coming back to me.
Pikmin 1 on that aerophone, and more subtly references the forest navel from Pikmin 1 with that dobro. It turns those themes into a boss battle even. The only adaptive transition at this point is when the boss shakes off Pikmin. And it's really a back and forth of attacking and shaking off until the first stage of this boss battle is complete, prompting this little victory theme that is another part of Pikmin 1's main theme.
It's so nice, man. It's so badass. I love it. It feels so good to listen to it. God, I love it.
This can go back to the first stage music if you wait around long enough, but chances are you'll soon activate the second stage of the battle, which smoothly transitions from any point to a harder, more percussive section featuring a new melody in brass.
Only plays through once, but it's interruptible. Okay. It's so good, man. It's so good.
That only plays once, then returns to the default loop. Now, during this stage of the fight, you can chip away at the boss's defenses, prompting one of 3 randomly chosen transitions.
It's so sick.
And the boss can still shake Pikmin off. But when you finally break through the boss's defenses and deplete all its health, the tempo finally slows with one last nod to Pikmin 1's main theme as the boss falls.
So sick.
All in all, quite a crazy
sure
new theme with unique adaptive bits to it, and it caps off a fantastic soundtrack to both the side story missions with charm all their own, and the Pikmin 3 boss soundtrack in general. Each of these climaxes comes with music that not only makes the battle engaging, but syncs with boss actions, highlights your progress, and just makes information clearer. The Pikmin series is rife with responsive music that accents gameplay this way, so I'm glad to see that trend continued and elaborated. This certainly won't be my last video on the topic. But for now, I'd like to thank someone without whom this video would not be possible. Olimar12345.
Shout out to Olimar1. Why do I feel like if Olimar was real, why do I feel like he would actually go by that username? Username for myself. Olimar12345.
Boss themes, and
Louis54321. Man, oh man. This was a very good watch. I really enjoyed watching and obviously mostly listening to this and seeing how Scruffy broke this down. So yeah, I mean, here, I could quickly see, I can stop like showing obviously the screen, but I can quickly see how much what kind of other stuff Scruffy has done. Okay, he did a thing 10 hours ago. Oh, he did a lot of Pikmin stuff. He did quite a bit of Pikmin stuff. It looks like he did Pikmin 4 stuff. But don't worry, I'm glossing over that. I'm not looking at that. I'm avoiding that. I'm still playing Pikmin 4, but probably when I'm done playing Pikmin 4, that is when I'll go back to his Pikmin 4 videos and check those out and see the music composition of everything from Pikmin 4 of that soundtrack. So I'll be very interested to see the breakdown and the dissection of it all. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have enjoyed, please smash like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, as well as my Discord server, as well as my playlist to Pikmin will all be linked in the description down below. Also, my Pikmin Journey Extras playlist with extra stuff like reaction videos and side stuff that's not solely focused on the Pikmin games will be linked in the description down below. And that's about it. I am very tired. I need to get some rest, but all in all, I really enjoy that. Scruffy, you did a fantastic job. And if there's anything else that you guys want me to react to, let me know in the comments down below as well. But I'm gonna go get some rest. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in Pikmin 4, Part 4. Stay tuned for that. Coming very, very soon. I'm very excited for you guys to see it. But yeah, thanks again so much for watching. The Pikmin grind continues. I'll see you guys there. Bye, guys. See you guys soon.